Hi, this is Vic, and once again, I'm going to be talking about the extended range electric vehicles manufactured by Cadillac. I used to speak about General Motors, but I'm going to deal specifically with the Cadillac. That is the ELR. Now, the Cadillac ELR is an exceptional, not only is it a luxury vehicle, it gets exceptional gas mileage. All around, my overall average with my ELR over the past year has been 76 miles per gallon. That's my average. That's highway and city driving, 76 miles per gallon. Now, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that the Cadillac does not drink gas all while I drive it. I use the car the way it's designed to be used. That is, I plug it in because it is an electric vehicle. There's a power supply on the bottom of the vehicle under the floorboard. It's encased in its own container, and it's not near. It doesn't interfere with the passenger or the driver of the car, of the automobile. The car is an electric car. It's an electric vehicle. It's what's called an extended range electric vehicle because it does have an engine. The main purpose of the engine is to generate electricity when the system needs it. There's a computer inside the vehicle that monitors the power supply. When the power supply needs to be recharged, should I fail to plug the car in and the power supply needs to be charged, or I'm driving long distance and I've used the power that's available from the solid state power supply, the engine will automatically start to generate more electricity, not to drive the wheel directly like most engines. For example, when driving the ELR and I press my foot on the accelerator, I am not increasing the flow of gasoline to the engine. The engine speed remains the same regardless of the speed of the vehicle. The main purpose of the engine, like I said, is to generate electricity. And I know from experience that generators are designed to run at one set speed as designed by the engineers of that particular system. In the particular case of the ELR, I've been told, my sources tell me that it's about 1800 RPM. And it runs at that one constant speed independent of the speed of the vehicle. It generates electricity. And electricity will go to either charge the power, add to the charge of the power supply, and or to drive the vehicle directly. So when the engine is running, if the engine is running, which most of the time my engine is not running, then I know I'm not wasting gasoline, and that gas will always be used. It's used to generate electricity. And electricity will be used to either charge the power supply or to power the vehicle directly. But either way, the energy generated by the generator is going to be used. Now, I strayed away from my main point. My main point is that Cadillac has done an outstanding job in creating a luxury coupe that is a gas mileage champion. And the way that they've done that is not by sacrificing the mass of the vehicle, because the vehicle is still very, very solid and very quiet. But they've done it by incorporating technology where it should be used to help the owner or the driver of the car save money and not pollute the air so much. Out of every 100 miles that I drive, the first 40 miles of it, based on my experience, the first 40 miles that I drive my car, I drive gas free. The engine does not come on at all. The first 40 miles I'm driving straight on electricity that is charged, that's been stored in the power supply. Should I drive more than 40 miles at any given time, then the engine will automatically start and run to generate more electricity. And that's been very convenient. The engine will start, I can't even tell it's starting, and I do absolutely nothing. The car actually does all of the thinking for me in that area. The driver is not responsible for keeping track of when to start the engine at all. Again, Cadillac has done an outstanding job of implementing fuel efficiency in a luxury brand. I think they should expand the same type of technology to other platforms, because there are other people. There are people that just want to have an SUV or need an SUV. People and some folks that like four-door vehicles. And by limiting this technology to only a two-door, Cadillac is extremely limiting their sales. I think the sales of all other lines would pick up tremendously if Cadillac would go ahead and implement the extended range electric vehicle technology into their other lines. I mean, not only is this car a luxury coupe, it's a luxury coupe that also gives me the option or the luxury to pass a gas station, and I thoroughly enjoy that. I would love to see Cadillac implement this technology into another wheelbase or another platform before the Japanese start to make cheap imitation copies of it. I don't think Cadillac has done a good job in educating the public as far as this technology goes. Very few people know about the type of performance that this car can deliver. Everybody that asks about the car, I can tell from the questions that they are asking me that they know nothing about it. And some folks want to label this car a hybrid. I'm not sure what a definition of a hybrid car is, to tell the truth, but this car is an electric car. It doesn't matter where the electricity comes from. The electricity can come from the car having been charged by plugging it into an electrical outlet, or the electricity can come from the onboard generator that the car carries under the hood. Either way, the car requires electricity. Something else I wanted to say about EREV technology. And when I say EREV, I'm talking about extended electric vehicle technology, extended range electric vehicle. And that is, besides just having, well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to talk about some things in detail that, if you're not interested in how things work in to some extent, then you may not be interested in this portion of what I'm going to talk about. And most of what I'm going to talk about is information that was not given to me on this specific vehicle. Now, based on my experience with power distribution systems and electronics, I'm going to say that the ELR, being a highly computerized vehicle, it must have, and I'll call them data cables. It must have low voltage data cables running all under the skin, all throughout. It's got to have hundreds of yards of data cables hidden under the body and inside the vehicle that are not obvious, that are not visible to passersby or users of the vehicle. Because the car is so highly computerized, and there's temperatures and pressures can be monitored from the center console. All that information is transmitted via low voltage cables electronically from the engine or from the drivetrain or whatever is being monitored at the time. GPS system, that's all part of electrical information that needs to be transmitted as well. And the car has a rear view camera, and all that has to run through via an electronic cable as well, from the rear end all the way up to the display where the user would see would see what's coming out of the back of the car. Yeah, all of that is transmitted via, I'll call it, data cables. It has to be transmitted electronically. So I said all of that to say that in order to repair a car such as this, such as the ELR, it will take not only a mechanic but also a major resource to fix this car properly. Would be an electronics technician and or a computer specialist.